Jonah Hill, man. Speaking of men with principles and standards, Jonah Hill is being called a misogynist
Ah,
because his ex, the woman that he was previously in a relationship, has aired out dirty laundry on social media. She is airing out uh, text messages that they exchanged between one another, in which Jonah Hill was essentially trying to express to her, these are the boundaries that I like to live within when it comes to my romantic partners. And I'm gonna lay it all out for you. And so now, what this woman whose name is Sarah Brady, she's a professional surfer. Apparently, she's trying to turn the tables on this situation and air these text messages out publicly to suggest that Jonah Hill is a misogynist and a
oh,
controlling man.
what a jerk.
Now the good news with this situation, from what I am seeing, is that it appears to me, and you can speak to whether you're seeing anything different. This appears to me to be more of a 60-40 type thing, where 60% of the people are saying he ain't do nothing wrong. And then you got 40% of the people who are defending her and calling him a misogynist. I'm going to say that most of these people just hate men in general and are always going to just suggest that men in any situation are woman hating abusers and misogynists. But I'll go ahead and share this article so that we can get a little bit of context. But Jonah Hill is being accused of being emotionally abusive. And the proof of this is with text messages that this woman is sharing to express how abusive that he was being. So this says Sarah Brady accuses Jonah Hill of emotionally abusive behavior and shares their texts. Jonah Hill's ex, Sarah Brady, shared screenshots of several of their texts to one another on social media over the weekend, alleging that the actor was emotionally abusive during their relationship. The two went public as partners in 2021. Quote, this is a warning to all girls. If your partner is talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Call me if you need an ear. Brady captioned the screenshots. In the post, Hill asked her to take down any photos from Instagram of her surfing with her ass in a thong. From there, Hill labeled it a good start while adding, but it's not my place to teach you. I've made my boundaries clear. You refuse to let go of some of them, and you've made that clear, and I hope it makes you happy. Hill also threatened to break up with her if she wants to surf, quote, with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, and to post sexual pictures. Quote, I too struggle with mental health, but I do not use it to control people like he did to me. Brady wrote in a follow up post. It's been a year of healing and growth with the help of loved ones and doctors to get back to living my life without guilt, shame, and self judgment for things as small as surfing in a swimsuit rather than a more conservative wetsuit. And I'm sure there is still much more healing from this abuse ahead of me. So she's playing the victim card. Now, what I want to do, because this article, and that article, by the way, is from Hunt New Hip Hop, it's sort of being biased against Jonah Hill. It's just the way that the article is written is suggesting that Sarah Brady's like in the right and he was undoubtedly being an abuser. So that gives you all the context for what's going on there. So what I'll do here is we all are going to have a little bit of a we're just going to, read these things and you can be the judge for yourself to determine just how abusive this guy was being um, with this. So this is the text here. This is a screen caption from Twitter, and I'm going to read this verbatim. This is from Jonah. So this is the Jonah Hill text. It says, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with men who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt or trust. So that's the exact text right there. Those are the exact text messages for anyone who needs that context there. So there you go. So thankfully, like I said, people who are in troll world are saying he ain't really do nothing wrong, but then there's also a lot of people saying he messed up. The media, for sure, is definitely suggesting that he messed up. Articles that I saw, whether it's on Yahoo, this article on Hot New Hip Hop, or these weirdo people on the internet, are definitely saying that he's being an abuser. And you can even see the little quote there underneath that screen caption from whoever posted this on Twitter that says, "See the misuse of the term boundaries," suggesting that Jonah Hill is misusing the term boundaries and that he's actually being, you know, uh, uh, bad, man, evil, bad man, abuser man. So, you know, what do you think about this whole situation? This woman, Sarah Brady, you can look her up on her Instagram. She's a pro surfer. Um, to her credit, she doesn't have a ton of photo. It's not like her profile looks like it's Brittany Renner or, you know, uh, Aaliyah Petty or, her profile doesn't look like she's trying to be an Instagram model, but she has a lot of pictures on her Instagram in a bathing suit and on the beach and surfing and stuff. So, what do you think about this situation? You think that Jonah Hill is a misogynist for giving her terms and laying out what his boundaries are?
No, I don't. But given today's social climate, that was toxic. And he was displaying toxic masculinity by setting boundaries. So if we're following today's modern terms, because they keep changing the definition of things, so this is modern misogyny. And so she has a point in her own little weird world. But in the real world, the world that I live in, all right, uh, Jonah Hill did nothing wrong here. And and she released quite a bit of messages. They had a good little back and forth there, and every message that he had was respectful, clear, concise, and basically, the ball's in your court, but you choose to not advance. So we should just leave. I didn't hear anything abusive in any of his words. Never called her out of her name. He was just on the up and up and just letting her know, hey, if you trying to ride with me, these are my criteria. Like, what's up? And so I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But when you're dealing with people nowadays, man, everybody's on narcissistic mode right now. And what we're witnessing right now in mass is a whole bunch of underdeveloped people. And everybody's screaming mental health. And I'm not against mental health. Okay, whatever that is. I know what mental health is, but people use mental health as just a buzzword. And I know what it is to be mentally healthy. But these people are just mental health, mental health. And it's like, well, why is everybody so depressed? Why is everybody so this? Why is everybody so that? And it's because they don't have anything to really like live for. And so right now, society has groomed and cultivated a society of people who are just self-absorbed, and they don't have any form of social awareness, as you always speak of. And because they lack the social awareness, they are unaware of the chaos that they're causing in the world. And they feel like every time that somebody goes, hey, that's a little bit chaotic, and they try to course correct it, they take that as oppression and somebody trying to attack them. And it's like, nah, bro, like you shouldn't put a fork in the outlet. I'm trying to help you out. And but this and it's gotten to a point where it's like a callus. It's like skin growing on top of skin. It's one sociopathic crazy type of behavior that creates another, and then it's just layers of it. And then when people start to get on their TikToks, get on their whatever's their YouTubes, they start adopting these crazy ways of thinking that just justifies you being an narc. All right, now they're imposing their will on you, girl. Hey, no, he can't tell you what to wear. Hey, didn't you already know she was already a surfer before they got together? Well, she can't wear swimsuits now. Hey, there's a lot of guys who surf. Why can't she surf with her surfer guy friends? And it's like, look, man, look, just like in the last topic where I say, hey, when you decide to have a baby, all right, it's over. Fun's over. Now, when I say fun's over, don't dig it, because I'll say that to a girl I'm talking to, and she getting buzzword crazy. What you mean fun's over? What you mean I say can't have fun? No, you can have fun. Your fun just changed. Now your fun is watching your kids smile while y'all at Chuck E. Cheese, not while you out there thotting with your friends out there single night, in some rooftop bar. Those rooftop bar days are over. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
And so they're done. So same thing goes with a relationship. You say you want marriage, you can't go do all that stuff that you did when you were a young surfer girl. There's adult women surfer women wives that know not to hang out with the surfer bros.
exactly.
So he's like, hey, stop hanging out with the surfer bros, because those dudes ain't about nothing. It was another message that he sent where he was talking about, hey man, these people are losers. These people you're choosing to hang around are losers. They're not going where we're going. You got to drop that foolishness. And if it's outside of the context of just regular hanging out, coffee and whatever, something respectable, don't go doing that. It was very tangible, realistic types of things. And if you're dealing with a dude like Jonah Hill who's getting all these checks from these movies and residuals, girl, your surfer life, he's shitting all over that. So if you're trying to get with this dude, you might want to get with that. There's a reasonable request, but she has to have her cake and eat it too, as all narcs are doing right now. So this was oppressing her. Yeah, it's the wildest shit ever. So this is a perfect example of a dude who's a good dude, at least on paper from what we're reading, because he was sending these in private when he didn't have to be so corporate, and he was still sending these with a respectful tone, and she still was calling him a crazy man. So for the good dudes out there who are trying to talk to these women and they do this crazy stuff, hey, they letting you know your personnel. And as cool as they are in pockets, they showed you exactly who they this woman showed her hand a long time ago. And as he said, hey, you clearly chose the life. So have fun. And so when they let you know, bro, let them go. So how
Yeah.
about you, bro? Do you think Mr. Misogyny Hill here is being a great misogynist, or do you think that the media is just trying to cancel another human being?
I think situations like this is what informs me of the fact that that most forms of media nowadays,
Mm.
whether it's old media, radio, newspapers, TV, or new media, YouTube, podcasts, whatever, social media, is hyper liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Like because why is it that in these various media factions, he's unequivocally being branded a misogynist and an abuser, even if you don't agree, even like someone, because and by the way, what you just put out there, what you just said, that was extremely well said.
Mm-hmm.
And even if someone watching this video heard you coherently lay all of that out, and they disagree with every word that you said, even if they disagree with you, they should not leap to the conclusion that it's abusive or that's abusive behavior. It's just a difference in, like, it's a difference in worldview. So fine, you don't want to kick it the way Jonah Hill wants to kick it, then but go ahead and part ways. It's not abusive if he clearly says, if doing these things makes
Exactly.
you happy, continue to do it. I'm
Mm.
not here to stop you. I just can't be a part of that.
Right.
That's not abusive, but it's being turned into another referendum on the patriarchy and abusiveness on the part of men. It's ridiculous. So I think it's shame on this goofy system that we got going on with this media stuff, where we automatically defend I call women a protected species amongst other protected species nowadays. Women are just protected. They can set the world on fire and watch it burn, Joker style, like in the Dark Knight. And these people will still come and defend these chicks. It's crazy to me. I don't understand it. I don't see, and I saw those other ones too. I just didn't want to go through every text because I didn't want to make the video super long. But I'm not seeing where he's being abusive. He's saying these are the principles. This is the code that I live by.
All right.
If we don't agree on that or see eye to eye, okay, but we can't be in a relationship if we don't see eye to eye to that. You know what this is indicative of? When a woman just can't understand a man who doesn't live, women who don't understand or cannot comprehend men who live by codes, and so there's a fissure there because they just don't understand it. That's indicative of a woman who doesn't have a code to live by.
Mm-hmm.
So the notion of living by a code is incomprehensible to a person like that. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't understand what that even means. Principles, codes, integrity. What do you mean? We just out here living empty vessel style. That's what it is. I
Man.
you know I really hope that he comes out of this strengthened and that his career continues. Quite frankly, that's how I
Oh yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this situation overall reminds me because, and this is where I'm gonna come back on Jonah here. This situation reminds me of conversations that I used to have with some of my buddies back when I used to live in Tallahassee, because we go out and we kind of observe men and women interactions and see what was going on, and you know, we were always trying to crack this code, the enigma of how to get a woman to do what it is that you want her to do or respond in the way that you want her to respond, how to get her to act in a design manner, similar to the way I think it was Huey Newton who used to say that, act in a design manner. And it's like, how do I get her to text me back when I want her to? How do I get her to pick up the phone when I call? How do I get her to act in a design manner? And I used to tell these guys, hey man, listen, you're going through all of this mental gymnastics trying to crack this Da Vinci code. Like, if you're going through all of this trying to crack the code, that should let you know that it's not something that you should be trying to crack in the first place.
Agreed.
The moment that it starts to feel like work is the moment that you should recuse yourself from the situation. Mutual interest is something that you should not have to beg for. You're not necessarily asking a woman to take her clothes off the first time y'all hang out, to initiate conversation with you every second of the day, to jump your bones right from the second that she meets you. You're not asking for that. What you're asking for is mutual interest. Hey, if I initiate conversation with you, you should initiate conversation with me at least as much. At least it should at least be in equal parts in this. Um, you know, if I call you, then you should call me. If I am the one who is initiating conversation first in the new day, you should also initiate conversation with me first at some point. That's mutual interest. No man wants to deal with a woman who's indifferent or apathetic. Mutual interest is a baseline requirement. The moment that you don't get mutual interest is the moment that you should go the other way, because it's indicative of her apathy, and it starts to feel like work. Now you're going through mental gymnastics. How do I get her to do this? How do I get her to text me back? How do I get her to call me back? You're going through all of this mental anguish when you should just quit dealing with her and move on to the next opportunity to deal with a woman who has mutual interest. Stop when it feels like work. That's when you need to stop. Now, the reason why I bring that up in reference to Jonah Hill, and this relates to the previous conversation that we had about Keke Palmer, there were probably signs in the beginning that this woman ideologically was not aligned with you when it comes to what your boundaries are. But instead of listening to the little voice in your head that was telling you this might not necessarily be an advantageous situation for me because she's on some other stuff, you tried to figure out different mechanisms to make her act in a designed manner. So what do? You text her your boundaries and your preferences and your standards in the hopes that you will get her to be convinced to act in your designed manner. She's not going to change her stripes, bro. So really what you should have did was understand right from the beginning, this ain't going to stop. She's still going to want to go surfing with her surfer dudes. She's still going to want to party with her surfer dudes. She's still going to want to do all of this stuff that make you uncomfortable, that make you apprehensive. a lot of that stuff isn't going to stop. So instead of pedestalizing her because you put the vagina up here on this thing and you want to try and try and try and try and I got to keep trying. I got to keep trying. I got to make her act in a designed manner by laying out my terms of condition. And it ended up not necessarily blowing up on you because I don't think that this is coming back necessarily to harm Jonah in any kind of way, either personally or professionally, or at least I hope it doesn't. But
Mm-mm.
you ended up investing time and emotional capital in this situation, and it didn't work out to your benefit because you see y'all ended up going your separate ways, and now she's trying to drag you publicly as an abuser. So you should have just understood this is where this is. Much like the guys trying to convince these chicks to act in a designed manner by trying to figure out a different way to make them respond to you how you want them to communicate with you how you want them to show you the kind of attention the way you want them to. Him laying those terms out to her was him trying to make her acquiesce to whatever his boundaries are because he was doing mental gymnastics trying to figure out a way to make it work. And it was doomed from the start. It wasn't going to happen. When you get with the chick and it fits and it works and you guys are ideologically aligned, i.e., you don't have to tell her not to wear a sheer dress because you know when she's with me, she's not the type of chick who's going to entertain the notion of wearing a see-through dress. So I don't even have to say don't wear a see-through dress. And I subsequently don't have to deal with the fallout from that and having to try to understand and come to an understanding with her as to why she needs to wear the see-through dress when she knows I don't want her to. No, just be with the girl who's not going to feel the need to wear a see-through dress like that in the first place. So it's like you're trying to get her to do what you want her to do, and when you're laying these terms out and when you're setting your boundaries, reasonable as they may be, because I think that they are reasonable in and of themselves, it's still becoming work in a way that in my opinion is unreasonable. And when it starts to feel like work, it's an indication that it's not worth that level of investment. So I think Jonah Hill should have went the other way. But Jonah Hill is a human man, and he, much like the rest of us, I've done this in the past, and I'm not perfect. I try every day to not do this, but I might slip up at some point in the future and put pussy on a pedestal. I might. I don't intend to. I don't want to. I understand the importance of not doing that, but that may happen to me despite how much I know that it's not a wise behavior to adhere to. And Jonah Hill is a human man, and in that moment, he was putting that thing up there. He was valuing it within the context that you suggest he should have devalued it. And in valuing it, here he goes with the mental gymnastics. Long text messages. Here's my boundaries and terms. Please don't do this. Please do that. If you cannot not do this, then it means we can't be together. Everything he did was reasonable, and yet he's still dealing with this public fallout. So yeah, this definitely correlates to the first story. Guys got to stop doing this stuff. And so, as much in the right that I think he is, because I think in a vacuum, his boundaries are completely reasonable. And how dare we sit here and shame a guy for having boundaries? This is ridiculous. It still is a cautionary tale for how to approach these situations with the right mindset in the beginning.
And so, who's the abuser here? The person that sets a boundary, or the person that tries to fuck over the person's their boundaries and just not follow them? So the person that says, hey, this, these are my boundaries, this is acceptable, this is abuse, and they just go, I don't care about you, what you think is acceptable, I want to do what I want to do, which is abuse. So she's the abuser. If he allowed this to go on, he would have been the person getting abused here. So in this context, she's not in the right. She's in my opinion, she's in the wrong. But here's this thing that goes on with women is they have this, not all, but the ones that want to get bent out of shape. I gotta say that for YouTube policy.
Disclaimer, yeah, you got to throw the disclaimer out there. Not all,
And so when these women have this thing of where they have to sacrifice their life That's such a buzz thing for them because I guess previous generations of women never could really do what they actually always wanted to do. And they always had to sacrifice their life for their husband and their family. So these women say, hey, I don't want to sacrifice my life. I don't want to be a bored stay at home woman. So I'm not going to give up my dreams. So this girl, yeah. So this girl here is playing he tried to take away my surfer girl card, y'all. And then so most of the women, a lot of the women that was defending her was saying that how didn't he already know she was a surfer? This comes with the territory. Was she not going to wear a bathing suit? Like, is this guy being serious? Or she's not gonna be out there surfing with guys? Like, there's guys out there surfing. Like, what's the big deal? And so that's the whole thing of he's trying to tear down her dreams, y'all. He's being a pig. And it's like, no, he's not. He's just, if you're going to go out there, there's respectable clothes. Don't go out there with a thong. Don't go out there with your ass out. That's not going to help you swim better. That's not going to help you surf better. So why you showing everybody your cheeks? Ain't like she got none anyway. But why you showing everybody your cheeks? So was that misogynistic, ladies? Let me know in the comment section. God damn it. I'm just joking. But still, even then. So this whole situation where, she played that card of he trying to tear down my dreams, y'all. And then, so here's that part in women that naturally get triggered where they go, hey, no, girl, no, you live your dream. And if he's trying to call these boundaries, just leave him, girl. He a pig. Okay, fine. So go do this with your surfer bros. All right, go do this with your surfer bros who couldn't nearly articulate themselves as good as he did, because only person that can speak like that is somebody that's in touch with their feelings, self-reflective, and conscientious of the next person. And he was doing all of those things, being very, very good with his words to the point where you can't even get mad at this. But yet and still, she still want to, cry wolf. So let her have her surfer bros. Let her do whatever she want. But this is over a year later, because she didn't have already been out there with the surfer bros. And Jonah Hill, he just dropped the jit not too long ago. So this is like some Mariah Mills stuff where she's scorned and pissed that she's missing out on the bag. Girl, this your fault. You blew this. And there's girls out there who all the time lose the good guy. All the time. And then the good guy moves on, gets married or has kid. The previous girl, the ex, is just pissed off. This is classic situations here. This is just played out with celebrities that everybody want to know their business. But this is typical and I don't know if he's really a good guy, but hell, reading those messages, he ain't no jerk to me.
There was nothing unreasonable about those boundaries is the point.
No.
Whether he's a good guy or not, there was nothing unreasonable about that.
No. Yeah, so for what we're looking at hand, this bit of evidence here suggests that he was being as cordial about this as possible, and he was not trying to be a jerk. He wasn't trying to drag her through the mud. He was really trying to communicate with her. And it got reduced to a whole bunch of text messages. And he was even saying in some of his messages, I don't even want to take it here to text, but since we're here, fuck it, but I got to go back to work. He's just a regular man. So, but she just playing games because she bored. All she do surf. Ain't no waves today. So she ain't got nothing to do. She's sitting around texting. Yeah, this man on the set of a movie thing, he trying to get it. Girl, you lost it. So, yeah, she tried to play up some certain cards, and the women that fell for that bait, they fell for it. But I just ask women out there to just really, take a step back and go, hey, maybe the world doesn't revolve around me. Maybe just maybe there's a moon and a sun, and without one or the other, neither one of these things gonna go down like this. We need both of them in the sky. So it's not just about the sun, and it ain't just about the moon. So ladies, just when a guy is really just trying to voice himself, men have boundaries too, by the way. We can express our boundaries. All women got boundaries. They'll let you know real quick. And so all dudes have boundaries too. And this guy's on seem quite reasonable, realistic. You can live within those boundaries. She chose not to. And I've been in the same boat where I'm sitting there, I learned my lesson until I was blue in the face. I'm just trying to express my boundaries till I'm blue in the face. I learned my lesson not to do that no more. I done told you, you know what it is. Girl, you can write it front to back. You just choosing not to follow it. So I know better now to be dealing with those situations long term because they're not going to change. People are not going to change. And that's why you got to get them ready made who already understand what's going on. They got boundaries, they ready to respect yours, and you ready, and vice versa. But this girl here, she clearly wanted to live modern. She still clearly wanted to live young. Girl, have at it. Don't be, hollering sour grapes now. Girl, it's your fault they sour. So, I no remorse for her. Go Team Jonah. That's what I say.
Yeah, none at all. I mean, he gave you the choice and she declined, and that's it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that that's tantamount to abuse.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's a real sad day when a man is being ridiculed for having boundaries. That to me is the most upsetting part about this entire situation. And furthermore, not only is he being ridiculed for having boundaries, but it's being turned salaciously into him being an abuser. Um,
That's a strong
I,
word
I,
too,
I
man.
don't get that. But you know, this is the result of, at this point, maybe 2 generations or so of vagina being overvalued
Yes.
to the point where women are just running roughshod and doing whatever the fuck they want.
It's
And when
inflation.
they yes, and when they're held to account for it, there must be some aspect of victimhood attached to it. So he had to have been abusing me, and that's why it didn't work out. Not that I didn't want to acquiesce to his to what it was that would make him happy within a relationship situation, but because he was abusing me. And that's the most upsetting part to me, honestly. But yeah, I mean, through the mind control and media, music, movies, all that, uh just like the real economy, vagina economy is at an all-time high when it comes to inflation. Uh you you paying you paying the price of a $1 million house on 4 acres of land for a 2-2 apartment with an inefficiency with a ranger. That's
Mhm,
how inflated the price of vagina has become.
mhm.
It's sad, but if I am going to be reasonable, I do think men bear a lot of responsibility
Yes, they do.
for this being the present state of affairs.
Yes, they do.
And I think it's kudos to Jonah Hill for, at least in this situation, not allowing the market of vagina inflation to bully him into succumbing to this ridiculous dynamic where he is not where he is a where he, rather he would be afraid to live by his code and his principles and express what his boundaries are. So like I said, I hope that he comes out of this situation unscathed, because it's ridiculous, and this woman is whatever she got going on with her surfer dudes and all of that kind of stuff, she can have it, like Jonah said, because he gave her a choice and she chose. That's not abuse, people. It's not. It's ridiculous. Stupid.
People typically don't give you a choice in abuse. They
Right.
typically don't do that.
That's the definition of abuse. Is something being done to you physically or emotionally against your will. That's the
Uh,
dictionary definition of this stuff. I don't know where we've gone with this, bro. But yeah. Theme of the channel, sign of the times, man.
yeah,
This is where we're at.
and keep your boundaries, fellas. Don't let these
Yes.
women bully you
Yeah.
into being some cuck 22.
Yes.
And I was what was last thing I'll say? Oh, and ladies in the comment section, please let us know. I mean, are we tripping right now? Or is this more of a nuanced conversation? If so, please let us know down below. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because I really want to know what y'all have to say about this topic and the Kiki one too. So
Yeah.
yeah, let us know what's going on, right? Please.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, man. I just think when you're ideologically aligned with a person, it's not gonna feel like work. And I think with Jonah, it felt like work. And when it feels like work, go the other way. Just like when a woman is being indifferent towards you, stop trying to make her act in a design manner. Just go the other way. Don't let it feel like work, because you have actual work to do. So we don't need 3 jobs out here. We already got 2. So you know,
If she wants you, it's like ants on a lollipop on the concrete, bro. They just come swarming, bro.
yeah, it's
You
gonna
don't
be
you don't
it's yeah.
you don't have to go find that. They come find you, bro. So,
Right. It will not feel like work. So
mhm.